I'm starting with a Fredrix canvas panel. I like to use those, especially if I'm working on a study. Sometimes it works out that I get a finished painting from them, but if not, it's not a big expense so that I can use those panels. And then I always measure to get the midpoint of the height and the width. So that's what I'm doing here. And depending on what I'm going to do, and in this case I'm going to do two faces, I draw a line so that I have them on the same plane. So now I'm just putting in the eyes and some of the detail of the eyes just with a graphite pencil. And then adding a little blue to the white of the eyes, the retina. And then I'm adding more detail to the face and getting the shape of the faces in, or shape of the heads, I should say. Getting the shape of the second head. Making minor adjustments there and using that eraser that comes to a point. I love that eraser. On one end it has a brush that you can brush off the eraser crumbs, and on the other you can sharpen it with a pencil sharpener, so you can really get in tight if you just have a little tiny area that you want to erase. Still putting in details with the pencil just on the face. And then drawing on a little bit more of the shoulders in that area. So this is going to be a couple of people as the painting progresses. Then I'm just getting rid of that pencil line that I was able to line up the eyes against. And the structure of the rib cage, just the beginning on that figure on the right as you look down at the canvas. Now I'm just putting in a little blue for that retina area. I tend to do that in blue with a little bit of white highlight because the retina is not white. It looks to us as it is, but it shows a dimension because it's a round ball, and it shades more toward the blue than white, just making a mark of where the pupils will be. Now I'm starting to add in a little bit more of the darker colors around the ears and the top of the mouth. So now you can see a little bit that the faces are taking more shape. I'm using a skin color. This is the Lightwish watercolor paints, and they have a skin color, but it's really a little bit more orange, so I do mix it with some white. And sometimes I do go over it with a unbleached titanium from the acrylic set, just so I can get a little more lightness on that color. This ends up being a little too orange for me for the skin, but it is a nice light orange if you need it for something else. I don't know that I would call it skin. And I'm still just fleshing out the shape of the face and the contours of that. Getting the collar of the person on the left, and now the right. And more work on the faces, the cavity that's above the eyeball, the little piece of the head where the eyeball goes in, and then above that is the brow. So I'm getting the dimensions of that with the lighter and darker shades of beige and brown that come with the Lightwish palette there. They have a nice group of different kinds of oranges and greens and browns. Just a couple of blues, but it's fine. I am going to do this painting in a very limited palette. So I don't think at this time it's going to have any red or pink or anything in those shades. It's going to have the earth colors and blues. You'll get to see that more as it goes along.